Hello, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to another live stream, Monster Monday. I'm excited to be here, and I have a lot of things to show you today. We have been very busy over here at Monster, and I've got some Guardian stuff to show you. I have a game to announce here, as well as I'm going to show you some of the upcoming conventions that I am going to be going to. So feel free to stick around if you are watching it later on. Thank you so much for watching. And anyways, let's talk about some exciting things that have been happening. So obviously in the background, I've been doing a lot of preparations for the upcoming conventions because we are in the convention season now, and so I had to make sure I have all of my marketing stuff up, all of my stuff for Monster's booth and everything like that. So if you have any questions about my preparations, feel free to ask as well. But starting out here, guess where we are going to be going? We are going to be going to Gamma this year. That is right. I'm officially going to Gamma for the first time ever, and I am so beyond excited. Gamma is one convention that I've been wanting to go to for a long time now, but I finally am able to go, and it was just kind of a last minute thing. I was like, hey, I talked with Berkey of Game Toppers, and he was like, yeah, I could get you to Gamma if you want. And I was like, great, let's do this. I don't know if I could make it because I have a convention literally the day when I get back. But I was like, you know what? I got to get to Gamma, man. So the exciting thing is I'm flying over to Gamma. I don't fly really ever either. So that's going to be interesting. But really, I'm just excited to learn. There's so much that I don't quite know about the businessy slash manufacturing slash logistics side of the industry. I know a lot about the marketing, the branding, the game design, the development, but I wanted to kind of switch it a little bit and learn a little bit more about the other side. So this is going to be something that lets me watch a bunch of seminars and go to these professionals in the industry and talk to them about their experiences, while also working with game toppers and being able to sell some awesome game toppers for your gaming table. I know I would love to get one of those myself, and I know long term I will be getting one of those as well. What's up, Andrew? Welcome to the stream, man. Monster Monday, every Monday. So yeah, I'm officially going to Gamma. I'm going to learn a bunch of stuff. I'm going to bring, the game that I'm going to announce here, as well as just talk with a bunch of manufacturers and logistics experts, and just learn all the things that I can do while I'm there. So I'm really excited. But what's really scary about this entire thing is that as soon as I'm done with Gamma, I fly to Gamma. I go there until that Thursday. I go to the airport Thursday night, get back home at like 10 o'clock, I believe, go to sleep, and then the next morning, wake up and drive to GameCon Selenium here in Northeast Iowa, Coralville, Iowa specifically. And I have the first booth of the year for Monster here. So I have a 10 by 10 booth, and I have all the product available. I have all the marketing materials ready to go, currently sending it to me now. So I'll be running the booth here at GameCon. I'm really excited because Scott Brady, one of my good friends, game designer, he will be there. So I'll be able to chat with him and kind of talk to him about what he's got in the works. I know he's always got a ton of stuff going, but it's going to be really cool because one, I've never been to GameCon, so I'm going to see what that's all about. But two, it's just the first time I'm running a booth. So it's going to be more learning. This whole entire year is going to be me learning how to run a booth correctly. I mean, I've been on the booth side sales, but I've never actually ran a booth myself. So this whole year is going to be learning that. So I'll be going to GameCon. I'm super excited for that. I have to start setting up some events. I'll be putting together probably 2 events while I'm there at GameCon. A playthrough event of Montoons and also a playthrough event of PKB. And then I'm going to also be doing an event for community specifically. So I'm going to be providing value to the people there by doing probably a game designer event or a first-time publisher event, and we can learn stuff together. So I'm excited. GameCon is going to happen. I'm going to be very tired after that, but it's going to be so worth it, because I have lots of product I can sell, and I just want to bring out Montoons to the world and just get Monster excited, Then the next convention I have officially booked is the Great Plains Game Festival. I've been talking with Rachel, who runs the whole thing, and I don't have a booth there, but I will be a part of Designers Row is what they're calling it. So essentially Designers Row is going to be a place where on Saturday, I'm going to be able to demo and pitch any of my games throughout the day from like 2, I believe it was like 10 to 5 or something like that. So it's a long day, but I can demo, Montoons, the Guardians expansion, and PKB. And then on Sunday of Great Plains, they actually have time set up for me to play test the full game with people that actually sign up for the event. So I'll be in Designers Row. It looks like this is the biggest a tabletop event in the Midwest. I was waiting a while before I heard back from them, so I'm excited that I will be going. I reached out and got a demo table there. So that is the upcoming thing. This weekend, I'll actually be going to Protospiel, Minnesota. So what essentially Protospiel, Minnesota is going to be this weekend. I'm going up to Minneapolis or St. Paul or something like that, and I'm going to be bringing, again, Montoons. I'm going to be bringing Pollinators and a couple other games. I'm going to sit down with a bunch of designers and we're going to play test games and we're going to play test their games. I'm also going to be on the lookout for games for Monster. So if there's anything that sparks my interest, I'm going to start signing games to be released next year as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. Protospiel, Minnesota is my favorite one of all time. Basically, it's my go-to. It's my local one, and so yeah, so that will be super fun. And then later on, I'm going to Protospiel Twin Cities, which is a brand new one that they have this year, and it'll be the same thing as Protospiel, Minnesota. It's just in a different area with a different host and all that stuff. So lots of exciting things this year. And then of course we know about Grand Con. That's the big one. That's the huge booth I have this year for the first time. I got my Square all up and ready to go. I got the Square shop ready. The website's up and ready. My artist is currently working on some Guardians expansion stuff. So I'll be showing you guys that here soon. So those are all the conventions that are upcoming. I'm going to be crazy busy. But if you see me at a convention, feel free to say hi. I know it's going to be kind of hard to miss because you're going to see a bunch of pink, a bunch of dark gray, some monster claws everywhere, and then a dumb guy with glasses. So it'll be super fun. I'm really pumped. And I have David Burleson coming with me for Grand Con as well. So we're going to do that. Now, moving on to the Guardians expansion. So I've been working really hard in the background trying to get this expansion up and running. We currently just have 47 flowers, but that's okay because I haven't really been pushing it a lot. So I like to see that number. Essentially, this expansion is going to be just another $5 expansion. But in this $5 expansion, I'm going to be giving you all sorts of new content on top of the content you already have for the game, which there's a ton, right? As you probably know. So essentially, what does the expansion add? Well, the expansion is going to add these Guardians. I'll show you here in the big screen. So these Guardian sheets that you see here are going to be in the expansion. There's going to be bonus Guardians. There's going to be utility Guardians, which will be something like this. It'll look like this. Of course, you're backwards, but then it'll be special Guardians, which will be this. So each of them, you basically have to awaken. And then once you awaken them, they get attached to your character sheet underneath the character sheet, and they give you special abilities. They give you bonuses, new dice placement spots, and then the special characters give you new special mini games that you can solve to get bonuses and do extra damage to your opponents. So that's going to be really exciting for me. I've been developing it a lot lately and working on playtesting again tonight as well. So that's going to be all of this stuff is here on the pre-launch page. If you want to demo the expansion, we have a Discord channel. I will go ahead and probably link that in a comment below here as well. Really pumped. If you want to be a part of this, hit that notify me on launch button and we will get you going. It's going to be a fun little expansion. And once that expansion is done, then we're going to be moving on to the first physical box game this year. And I am super excited to announce it. So speaking of announcing the first box that we're going to be releasing for Monster Games, I want to show you this screen right here. I'm getting used to this restream stuff. So boom, I am officially announcing Punch, Kick, Block is the first physical box game from Monster Games. That'll ideally, I'm going to have running a campaign, a Kickstarter campaign in Q4 of 2025. We'll see. I'm working on manufacturing quotes and stuff right now. And hopefully I can get this game out there because this is actually my first game I've ever designed. And I absolutely love it. I think it's a blast. Every time I've played it with people, they all really want the game right now. And I was like, I'm sorry, it's not quite there yet. But so essentially, I just have a sell sheet. This is an older sell sheet, but it gives you the right idea. So let me explain what this sell sheet is all about. So Punch, Kick, Block is the Fast and Furious card game of epic fighting mascots. So you and your fellow player are essentially in the Fury Bowl Championship halftime showdown. So the crowd is chanting your name and chanting punch, kick, block on repeat. You two mascots are going into the center, and boom, you duke it out in the center of the field, and boom, it is great. Your mascot brawl has begun. Yeah, it's a super fun game. I have 2 characters I'm working on extra on top of this as well. I believe so. Essentially, before I go into that, essentially what you're going to be doing is on your attack, there's an attacker and defender. On a turn, you're going to play up to 3 cards face down in the attack zone or in the combat zone. You could play attack cards or special cards. I'll have more on this in videos in the future, but this is kind of an idea. Then your opponent, as the defender, will reveal one of those cards. If a special card is there, so the purple card, as you can see right here, if it's a purple card, you resolve that effect immediately. So it could be things like look at your opponent's hand, draw a few cards, play a card, deal damage, etc. If it's an attack card, though, you're going to line up your blocks. So how you know how to line up a block is the actual cards will line up together. I'll show you that in a second. And that's how you know what will block. So the middle glove will line up with the middle glove of the blue. It's super, super accessible, and I'm really pumped for that. Then for attacks that are not blocked, it goes back to the attacker, and you start by boosting the damage. So if it's unblocked, you can discard a block card to boost the damage. Then after you boost the damage, you have to roll for accuracy. So some of them require you to roll a certain die value in order to get that to go through. So let's say you boost the 3 damage right here. I'll show you a little bit. I don't know if I could zoom in. Yeah, let's do that. So right here, let's say we're boosting this 3 damage. Well, I'm going to boost that by 1, discarding a block, adding 1. So now it's 4 damage. Now I need to roll a 5 or higher in order for that 4 damage to go through. Well, this person rolled a 1. So, man, at this point, you're flipping the table, right? You are just over this game. But you also can discard blocks to alter your dice rolls. So because you need a 5 or higher, you can discard any number of blocks to add to the dice. So I'm going to discard another block that gives me a +2. I'm now at 3. And then I'm going to discard 2 more blocks that gives me +1 each. I'm at 5. That 4 damage will now go through. And boom, the opponent will reduce their stamina X amount of damage. And how they do that is with these super, super epic dials. And I'm working with my manufacturer right now to get these dials to basically look exactly as is. So as you can see right here, it's not going to zoom in, but these dials are super thick. They are not your normal typical dials that you see where it's a circular thing, you switch it back and forth. But I actually designed these dials to be left-handed or right-handed. So it's fully accessible in that way. So you can use it with one hand and also play your cards in the other hand if you want. You can set it on the table for people to see, but it's actually a 2 dial system. So there's 3 pieces of gray board basically clamped together with these 2 rivets. So it really gives you a nice feel in your hand. It's like a deluxe feel. And I really wanted this game to, since it's just cards and a dice, I wanted to have this game really feel deluxe. So I'm working with my manufacturers right now to see how that works. But let me just, and then this is Captain Furious. These are the 2 characters. We got Danger Duck and Captain Furious. I'm also working on a hockey character called Jerry Hat Trick. Yes, the joke is there on purpose. Geriatric. Get it? You're laughing? Haha, that's hilarious. Okay, I'm going to show you how a block will work in this game. So let's look at this card. I know it's probably backwards for you, but let's look at this card here. So there's 2 attacks on this card. Right there and right there. Now, knowing what to block, I have to put a block card like this. Can you see that? The reflection's terrible. So that is actually lined up with this attack over here on the other side. So that is blocked. Cool. No damage is going to go through. So that is how that is going to work. And then you have special cards like this. Lightning Bolt, Sucker Punch. You just, boom, you slap that at the table. Don't throw it at people's heads because that's a bad idea. You slap it at the table, Sucker Punch, you deal a damage and stuff like that. So I'm really pumped because Punch Kick Block was my first ever game design. And I'm going to be bringing it to y'all here, hopefully this year. Now, the next exciting thing that I need to talk about is we are going to be looking at the first Guardian inks for Aurora. So let's go over to the PDF. So check this out. My artist, I've been collaborating with this artist by the name of Neil and John, and they have been absolutely crushing it, um, adapting the old art style to match exactly the way I'm looking for. So this is the first inks draft that I received from him yesterday. Essentially, the process for art goes: there's the rough sketch phase where he gives me some rough sketches, and I send it to the community, and the community tells me which way they want to go. Then from that rough sketch, he has goes into first inks. So what that means is it's very draft colors. It's just loosely colored in as such as this. So as you can see, this is Aurora. This is the protector, the first protector bonus guardian that you will see. So this is kind of, you probably can't see that card, but um, so she is essentially going to be the protector. If you use her in the bonus guardians, she's going to give you things like guard or more health, or she'll let you move away from your opponents a lot more than the other ones would. And healing, yeah. So this is Aurora. I love it. This is my wife's character that she basically designed, and then I scouted from there. I might change this up a little bit to be a little more green as opposed to the blue, because the blue kind of blends in a little bit. But I'm really pumped to see this. And he just sent me Zendis, but I have some revisions right now for that one before I share it with the community. So Aurora, that is happening. I'm currently playtesting that character. And then now finally, let's talk about, let's delete that. Boom. Let's talk about my marketing and branding materials for my first time booth. So I have been working super hard this last week and a half, designing the banners, the tablecloth, the business cards, the inventory stock. I got the tokens now. Thank you, Andrew, for those. So I could put those in. I'm gonna try and find little monster claw bowls to see if I could put those in there, or chalices or something like that. But so this is what the tablecloth will look like. I went back and forth on how I wanted it to look, but I ended up getting a stretch tablecloth as opposed to a loose fitting tablecloth, because I really wanted, one, that sleek professional feel, and two, I really wanted it to, just be able to visualize everything. I didn't want the logos to be cut off because I want the brand to stick out like a ton. And so having these logos on the side now, even though it's arched downwards, you're still going to be able to see that crisp logo as opposed to the wavy ness of the loose fitting tablecloth. So I went ahead with this one. So that is the basically what it looks like there. Oh, whoops. I don't have the back. Where did I put the back? Okay, yeah, so this is the top. So this is what the top of the tablecloth will look like. It has just enough subtlety that it's not going to be in your face, but it still looks really professional. So you're going to have these basically the tentacles wrapping around the table. So I'm pumped to see that, and I cannot wait to look at it and see what it looks like in person. So that's the tablecloth. The next thing is, obviously I have the banner that I've showed you guys before, but this is the official main banner for Montoon's Clash of the Coral Isles. This is a 36 by 90, so it's extremely tall and it's super good looking. I sent a picture out the other day for it, and it looks really good. All of my banners here are going to have basically the graphic of what the game is. Some of them will have this topper, not all of them will. I think my 36 by 90 are going to be the only ones with this topper. And then the three different things that it sets itself apart. So this one is obviously print and play, arena combat, roll and write. Those are the three things that set this game apart. And so if you're like looking at this like, oh, what's an arena combat game? Oh, I like arena combat. Boom, let's go to check this out. So that's my big banner there. I also have a retractable banner here for punch, kick, block. So this one is actually, because at GameCon Selenium, I'm not able to have my big banner, but I can display a smaller retractable. So I'm going to get this one for punch, kick, block. Hand management, fighting mascots, and dice rolling are the three things that stand out with that game. And so I'm going to be getting that. It's a clamp up retractable for that. And what I'm really pumped for is the t-shirt design. So I went back and forth on what I wanted to do for the t-shirt design, because the t-shirt I have right now is cool. I'm going to keep that. But I changed it to now the logo is just Monster. There's no games. It's just Monster on the main logo. And so I wanted to take that off of the main logo and have something that, if you've seen T-Mobile, their convention, they I'm kind of like taking that same look. I love that idea of bright pink and then dark grays. And so I took that monster logo, stuck with it here. I have claw marks on the insides. And then boom, I have the tentacle, of course, weaving itself in. Now, the front is kind of just the front, right? It's not that exciting. However, the back is what's fun. So on the back, I actually worked with I talked with Matt, or not Matt. Yeah, Matt Paquette, a really good graphic designer in the industry, and talked with him a little bit about what I should put on the back. So again, we're keeping that consistency of the claw, right, of the tentacle. But then we got we got the website logo on the sleeve because I love having the website. And then just don't be scared with a QR code. You know how many people are going to scan that QR code because I said don't be scared? They're going to be like, okay, what's this QR code? So they're going to be scanning the code and it goes directly to the website. So I'm absolutely pumped for that. Hopefully we get some scans, get some people over to the website, and then they kind of learn a little bit more about the games that we're going to be providing as well. So that's the t-shirt. I think that is, yeah, that is going to be everything that I had on here. So um, the box right now for PKB, this is obviously a prototype. It's not going to look like this, but it's going to look a little bit bigger. And I want the idea to have 2 wells in it, but it's going to obviously need some dice. So I need to make sure there's enough space for the dice and then the 2 dials. So ideally, they will be put on it like this on top, just stacked. So it's going to be a little bit of a taller box, but we will see how that looks. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting time. You will be hearing more from me. I'm going to take a bunch of pictures when I'm at these conventions, and I'm going to learn all sorts of things, and I'm getting quotes in right now. It's a lot of terms to learn, but I'm pumped to learn about it. And I'm also going to be self-fulfilling. PKB, I am confident enough in my ability to fulfill games myself without, doing all this fulfillment charges and stuff. So we're going to try it. If it doesn't work for this first box, then I'll go ahead and find a fulfillment partner in the future. But to save money, I'm going to do it myself. My wife and I can do that in our garage. I think I only need 1 pallet or max 2 pallets if I sell a bunch. So that'll be enough to fit in my garage, and I can do stuff from there. And then we're just going to get a climate controlled, essentially a climate controlled words are hard. Storage unit. There we go. Storage unit for about a month or 2 while I do that. Make that my office for essentially 2 months. And then, get the games out there. So anyways, that is all I have for today. Outside of that, I've been playing Horrified is a game I've been playing. My wife and I got that to the table. We played Earth a little bit again. I know, Andrew, you like that game. You crushed us in that game, so that was fun. But other than that, I haven't been playing a ton of games. Just been figuring out what to do 2025 Monster Games. So I appreciate you all for tuning in. That is my update. I will be posting out an update soon here because I'm started working on Puka. Oh, and then I talked with my legend backer, and I have all these notes here to go over to start creating the next character for the game after Puka. So it'll be Q3 release. And then after the end of this year, future content, I'm going to have to put a stop on the future content and stuff like that. At least the free future content. So yeah, that's about it. More to come. I will see you next Monday. But for now, happy gaming and don't be scared out there. Monsters are not always scary.